I was sending out to see if we could wear our masks today. And Barbara got the message, oh, maybe I should dress up. And then Dwayne sent the picture, it had the mask. So seemed like it was not strong enough to show up for today, but.
Well, I've got my mask on.
Oh yeah, right, like Joanne says, you have it on.
I have it on.
Come on,
we may not see it.
What was that, Dwayne?
Say, take it off, girl. Show us the real you.
Yeah. I think that's time.
Yeah, it's getting close. It's coming.
There, the mask is off.
Oh.
So like I say, I revisited Joseph Campbell's, what does he call it? The Masks of Eternity. And that's it's episode 6 in The Power of Myth. And I'd watched it a long time ago and it was like, what is he saying? And now it's gotten much clearer for me that realizing that even the gods are masks that assist us in our human form, but to go even beyond the gods to get to what we talk about, the cosmic center or the cosmic core. And then he talks a lot about circles, which I thought was, wow, so appropriate for today. And the Sabian symbol, when I did the AI pick for it, here was this round table of us getting together as camaraderie and coming together and as a group, and what is the quality of our group. And now I see we have a new person show up and it's expanding. So
thank you for inviting me in.
Yeah, welcome.
Dwayne and I met probably 30 years ago, and it was a profound experience for me being outside at night. The moon was there, the same moon I'd seen every night for my whole life, but this one was pulling. There was strong energy. I didn't know what it was about. Ended up, and if I'm talking too much, tell me, because I'm not sure how to step in here.
Well, we have a little stick. We put it around your neck.
Okay. Anyway, I ended up on a road trip to Calgary with a friend who was going to a healer for healing. Her appointment wasn't till later in the afternoon. We were drawn into a store in Calgary, and I was drawn to the cards. And the card that pulled me was the moon is in my heart. Turned it over, and Dwayne was the creator. Lived in Bragg Creek. I was also drawn to a piece of jewelry on display, and turned it over, and it was made by Dwayne. And we ended up going out to visit him. And he ended up doing a reading for me, which was profound and life-changing. I could be moved to tears now.
Oh,
and
good.
That moon I saw that night was my birth moon, Chikchan. And so a lot has happened since then. And yeah, so much has happened. I won't go on and on, but I'm very drawn, being pulled back in, very guided to come back. And last night I pulled out, I don't know if this will show, but you said circles. And I taught a workshop years ago. It's kind of faded. The outside circle, the moon is faded. But I taught a workshop on mandalas. And one of the things we did over the several weeks, people collected stones, and then we created the medicine wheel, which Dwayne helped create on my property back then. And anyway, there's a lot to the story, and I'm grateful to be here. And the timing just feels so very right. Very right.
Wonderful. Wow. Well, welcome again.
Thank you. Thank you.
Well, yeah, it's been only a few months since I spotted you on Facebook, and the invitation was out to to come and join, and I wondered, how long is it going to take now? I know she's supposed to be here.
Are we in AHAU now?
We're just entering 12 AHAU. This is it.
And it talked, and last night I was looking and, oh my gosh, where are my little note? Camaraderie, feelings created that can endure over surprisingly long periods of absence. And I thought, there's that divine timing, which just moves me deeply. So, yeah. And I've been reading a book, Wild Mercy, about the mystics, the women mystics. And what did I come to last night and this morning is the dying, and it's about the Day of the Dead, the All Saints Day. And I mean, here we are, just as I'm finishing the book, here we are all meeting in a very timely way. So thank you.
Wow.
Thank you.
Thanks for showing up, girl. Yeah.
Where in this earthly journey, where are you located physically?
Between White Rock and Crescent Beach in British Columbia. Yeah. Where are you?
I'm in Calgary.
Oh, you are? Okay.
Yeah.
I have a brother-in-law in Calgary and a sister-in-law in Banff, and
I just like to have that because Steve's on the coast there too. He's on the island, and then I know where Dwayne is, and Barbara is over in the Canary Islands.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, hi, Brenda.
Hi. And
you're welcome.
Thank you so much. And Steve, where on the island are you?
In Nanaimo.
Okay. Very good. No, I have a friend that I haven't seen since my teens, and she's arriving next week. She's on the island. I'm thinking Nanaimo, but I'm not completely sure. So.
And then Dwayne, the center pin in
Spences Bridge.
The center pin.
He's the bridge.
The bridge.
Wow.
It's getting more interesting here all the time. There's new people in town, and it's really, the energy's changing. And it's, as I used to say, there's only one place Spences Bridge can go, and that's up. We're officially a ghost town, but it's getting more vibrant all the time. It's just great. A great turnout last night for our little Halloween celebration, and yeah, it's just really sweet. People helping each other. One fellow had a sudden health emergency, and I wasn't in on it, but there was a whole gang of other residents that got together, and they bucked all this firewood for him for the winter, and I'm sure there were other things going on there too. So it just all boom, just happens just like that. So that's great. I think we're about, we're in that 200 people range for population, and it just feels like a good, because you virtually, or everybody on some level, whether it's part of a group, but or whether it's close, intimate. So yeah, I'm sure in the place I appreciate it. And then I'm looking out to the mountain right out my window here, that alpine glow first thing in the morning. Oh man, it just lifts my spirits.
I've been tempted to do a road trip, or feeling that it's time to do a road trip one of these days.
Right on.
There. I've sort of miraculously been put on different pieces of property over the years. And right now I'm in a heritage home. It was built around 1905, and it's a renovated farmhouse. And it's in the middle of all this development, except there's trees. I still have the deer come, and yeah, I'm not sure how long I'll be here. My son actually owns the property, but it's been a real gift.
Right on.
Road trips are fun.
They are. Yes.
I just went on one. I got on the ferry, and it was just an exquisite day to go across blue sky and humpback whales, and it was just magical. And then I was over for about 5 days in Chilliwack, and met friends at Granville Island for lunch coming back. And it's just refreshing to do that, something different.
Yes.
Especially after the long years isolated with that past pandemic. It was really fun to, went to orchestra in Chilliwack, listened to Mendelssohn and Vivaldi, and it was just really, really
Beautiful.
wonderful. And then found a fantastic Thai restaurant in Chilliwack. They had just reopened, and they'd only been open for a week. And that Friday they were just packed. And they've got the best green curry. So if you ever go through Chilliwack, I finally figured out why everything's called Chili's in Chilliwack, because it's Chilliwack. There's like Chili's Pizza, Chili's Sports Bar, Chili's Thai food. And I'm going, what? Oh, I get it now. When you're not a local. It was really fun. I met with my grieving buddy for a few days and had a good swim and hot tub, and yeah, just road trip was invigorating, something different.
Change things up.
Yeah.
Yeah. What was is that something that we thought I'd read that somewhere about AHAU. But,
I like Brenda's circle that you showed. I mean, that's so fitting for today.
It was amazing. Everybody's looked so different. It was, yeah, mine was a multitude of different types of rocks, which is kind of my personality. I like a lot of different things, but some were all white stones. It was quite an experience. And then we each had a penny, because I've had lots of penny experiences, and that was when we still had pennies. And then they, would keep connected to the cycle, moving the penny around with each moon.
Wow, that's beautiful.
But it's time for me to reconnect on. I've always done my best to follow the path and the inner guidance, and it's been a miraculous journey. But now it's time to reconnect with Dwayne and his teachings on a deeper.
Yeah, wonderful.
And in the last few weeks, I was introduced to a fellow who's a psychic and medium, and went for reading, and it was profound, because I connected with my husband who had passed away. It was very, again, a real catalyst for change and healing, and lots happening. So yeah.
Wow. Yeah, well, that's what I read about or heard maybe from Burgess in the Sabian Symbol. He was talking about how we go away, but we're always connected, and when we come back, it's almost like we've never left. That's the camaraderie. And so just in hearing you, it just feels like, wow, you've always been always been in the circle, but off doing your thing.
That's what it feels like. Yeah.
And you said your temple is Chikchan?
Yes. What is yours? No.
Mine's Kalak.
Okay. Same as Dwayne.
Same as Dwayne. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And Barbara?
Ok.
It's the
Ok.
empowered human, right, Barbara?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I'm a monkey.
You're a monkey, artist, and trickster. Okay.
And, yeah.
He's
all
all
of the
setting things up for us,
all of the above.
Yeah.
Any new carvings there, Steve?
Yes, I'm doing a puppet head. It's just rough right now, but of course I have Jackster. He's the latest.
Oh, that's so great.
Oh, yeah.
Just fantastic.
Oh, Jackster the trickster.
Yeah. Jackster the jester, Jackster the trickster.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Oh, yeah.
Hmm.
Oh, yeah. He's good. Hey, Jackster.
Just signed up for an online class to do with puppet making or carving puppets and
You signed up for it?
I did. Well, it's an introductory thing, but I did. So it's interesting that that energy came, and here's
is that with Vern?
I think so. I have been a little bit busy lately, so I have to.
So have I. It takes a while to get started, but it's with Vern in Iceland.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm sure that's who it. Yes.
Yeah, I'm doing his course.
Okay.
So it's really fun.
Speaking of circles, one other thing I've done recently, I'm just going to grab it quickly.
I love show and tell.
Yes.
And
On to do these classes, and it was a connection of, I don't even, this music and art, and this one is Dolly Parton's Coat of Many Colors. But Sammy, who I've been taking lessons with, this is his album. It's Love, whoops, I don't know if you can see it, Love Somebody. So I'm going to give it to him next Friday. And it turned out that it's the actual day, the 10-year anniversary of the day that they released it. And he is just a being of light. And I took the CD. Is it okay if I read it's Love Somebody, the concept. May I read what he says?
Yeah.
Love can be, I'm going to take a breath here. Love can be expressed in many ways and has much variance. There is the age-old notion that when you express your love in the world, to whomever you express it to, it will come back to you. To love others, you have to love yourself first and completely. Then you can begin to give that love away and share it with the world. And when you do, it is not like any other resource, not money, nor salt, nor food. It does not run out. When you give your love away, it instead multiplies itself, and those who receive it want to pay it forward as well, and you can just keep giving. Love is not scarce. You can keep pouring it out, and the more you do, the more you feel, and the more you love, the more you give people the excuse to love. And when everybody starts giving it out, no more will we feel a lack of anything in this world. When there is that much love, everybody has each other's back, and scarcity of anything is no longer. Go on and love somebody. You literally make the world a better place. And he truly lives that. So anyway, thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
So these are kind of like a diorama, or?
They're a collage, like a three-dimensional collage. I just, I felt very guided and directed in what I did. The first one I did, which I don't have here, it ended up being to do with Mama, don't let your babies grow up to be cowboys, but it included various people in the horse world that I knew. Anyway, it's all been very therapeutic and cathartic, and meeting more great people. So, and I think music and art is huge. It's life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That goes beyond the mask.
Yes.
I feel.
Yes.
So I'm curious, Joanne, how are things at Chaos Radio?
oh, we got it named, did we?
Yes, we did.
Okay, Chaos. Yeah.
Remember, you were reporting from CHAOS, Chaos Radio. This is Joanne.
Okay, I like that.
Reporting what's happening.
Well, it's been fairly, the airwaves have been fairly quiet. The commentator kind of has been kind of down and out for a bit with a cold. So the sort of the speaking and was not that easily done. So I took a break from Chaos Radio, but I feel I'm getting back. Like I feel I'm yeah. But chaos is what I've been in for sure. Yeah, chaos. I do Wordle every day, and that's the word I start with.
Oh.
I don't understand. What is it you have?
Oh, it's a game, like a game I play on, it's through the New York Times. It's called Wordle. That's the name of it, Wordle. So it gives you 6, they're all 5-letter words. It's a 5-letter word. And you've got 6 tries. So you've got, you've got the 5 spaces 6 times, 6 times. So you pick a word to begin with, a 5-letter word to start with. So as I say, I start with chaos, and then it'll flip those over to let me know if there's any of those letters in the word that I'm trying to find. So maybe they'll flip C. C's in the word from, the word I'm trying to find, but C is not in the right place there. Like it's not in the first slot, right? And then you'll go across and maybe the S is in the word I'm looking for and in the right spot. So there's a word, S at the end, and C is in there somewhere, but not at the beginning. So then you guess another word. The second time you guess another word with those letters to see if you have got it. And then it'll let you know if you've got letters that really are in the word in the right place or not. You've got 6 tries to get the 5.
Have you ever gotten one out of chaos? Have you ever gotten one?
Well, I've gotten a second, the second try. A third try, I guess, from chaos. And I get a word in 4 or 5 tries. And there's been very rare that I've gotten it in the second or third, but it's been just
okay.
Wow. It's just it just kind of wakes me up in the morning. It's kind of get my Wordle.
Oh, now I know what my sister is playing. She does that.
She does that? Yeah. It's kind of, when you get it, when you first try chaos and it flips over and it says, oh my God, I've got a C and I've got an O and I've got an S. And then, it's sort of like, and then what 5-letter word can you make out of those letters? So it's a fun challenge.
And then what happens when there's no letters?
Well, if chaos, if everything turns black, then none of those letters from chaos. There's no C, H, O, A, or S in the word. So then I have to guess another word.
Oh, okay.
I try another 5-letter word that sometimes I use pride. So there's a, P, R, I, D, and an E. And so it's a fun challenge. And today's was 6th. S, what did I get? I got 3 of the letters to begin with, I think. And I got a TH and an S and an I, but they were in the wrong place. So I switched them around to try to get the word, and it was 6th, SIXTH. But who knew?
And you got it on the 6th try?
No, I got it on the 5th.
Oh.
Yeah. It only took me 5. So here I am on 12 AHAU giving a lesson on Wordle. So you all have to go and try the game. Wordle.
I have tried it.
What does that mean with 12 AHAU?
Oh, I'm just saying here's the new moon. 12
yes.
AHAU.
Okay, in the new game. Yeah.
I guess there's no, I don't know if there's a connection or not. What did maybe I'm crafting my light bulb. Here was a couple of things that stood out for me as I read about 12 AHAU. Unconditionally accept yourself as you are. Craft your light body and return to a home in the stars that you never really left. Receiving AHAU indicates that the activation of ascension, your solar mastery, is already in progress. Move fully toward whatever creates bliss and ecstasy for you. Move fully toward whatever creates bliss and ecstasy. So
Beautiful.
Yes, so you're moving towards receiving the word.
And I tell you, it's so trivial. It seems so trivial, but when I get it, it's like, yes, yes. Like, so I mean,
Success.
so there's some bliss that I feel. Yeah. So it's good. It's good.
Mm-hmm.
Well, on that bliss note, I mean, you guys know how passionate I've been in creating presentations. And last, at the full moon, I was imagining not doing a presentation for a while and just concentrating on some other realms. But somehow, anticipating what this meeting might be like, that fundamentally I thought, well, there's going to be someone, at least one new person, because we were kind of calling for an expansion.
Right.
And so I thought, well, it would be really great if this new person doesn't really know what Temple of Birth and all of that is all about. Let's lay it out so that they get it, right from the get-go. So I have a presentation if you guys are up for it.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
May I share? My maiden name was Liss, Lis. And I rode horses and I had a brass plate on the back of the saddle. And one day somebody yelled, "Hey, Bliss." Anyway, because Bliss. Anyway, that just came to mind. And here we're talking about bliss. I haven't been Brenda Liss for years, but anyway.
Wow, bliss.
Looking forward to the presentation.
Welcome, Bliss.
Thank you.
Okay, take it away, Dwayne.
Hey. And share.
Oh, can I say something just quickly, Dwayne, first?
Yeah.
Just, I don't know when I'm going to have to leave. So if it's during your presentation, I might just disappear. And I just wanted to, say I'll see you next time, you guys, if I have to disappear without saying goodbye.
Okay.
So okay.
Goodbye in advance.
Just in case.
Just in case.
Okay.
Okay. Everybody can see the lightning path, 10 AHAU?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
10 AHAU, it's 12 AHAU.
12.
Well, I'll have to correct that, won't I?
Yeah, but it's Scorpio 10.
There you go. There's a lot of 10s floating around.
That's why. Yeah, there's 10 people around that table.
Oh, you're too.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, it's Scorpio 10.
And will this be shareable afterwards? Because I have somebody that I've been introducing this to and gave him the book, the Lightning Path to read. And it was all a bit too much for him. So I'm drawn to take this out there, and here we are. So
hopefully this will educate him.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, where's the start button? Oh, here we go.
I see some circles.
Beautiful picture. Beautiful.
Always love dandelions.
So Brenda's mandala totally resonates with my sense of the lunation cycle. I mean, she's got the moon phases all around the outside edge, and you've got the Hopi shield is in there with the 4 directions cross, and then a dot in each corner. And here, for me and on my path, 1972, and discovering this book, The Lunation Cycle by Rudyard, that's kind of like the start of my spiritual journey, attuned to the phases of the moon. And it's pretty much been a steady practice for me ever since. And I think I've probably missed a few weeks of attunement here and there, but other than that, it's been just aware of the current phase of the moon. So I'm virtually attuned to the cycle. I've entered into the structure of the lunation cycle, and I'm consciously aware of the changing phases. So that's the basic practice of this whole effort that I'm bringing forward. And keeping a journal just takes it to that next level. So in that 1972 range, I don't know, it was not long after I got the book by Rudyard that I decided I wanted to have a journaling practice that was attuned to the phases of the moon. So there I was in 1972, a young man, and just hooked into the lunation cycle and have been going down the rabbit hole ever since. And it's a spiral rabbit hole as far as I can tell. And the structure remains, it's fractal. The structure of the cycle remains the same, but the scale changes. And I've realized that you can apply this to any pair of planets that you want to look at the relationship of. So we're looking at Sun, Moon, Earth, that triad. But you can look at, Mars versus Pluto. What dance do they have? Or Jupiter and Mercury? It's entirely, it's a tool that you can apply. And I call it the key to all worlds. It really is. So this is the basic structure of the lunation cycle. And as we see, we enter the cycle at new moon. This is why the timing of these gatherings, I've linked it up to the lunation cycle. So every new moon and every full moon, we're gathering. And we're more or less aware of the intervening phases and what they bring to the practice. So it's important, if you want to engage fully, it's important to be aware that, from new moon to that first 45 degree, it's all about emergence. It's spontaneity. It's the seed has fallen into the soil at new moon and is now starting to gain moisture and nourishment. And then by the time we get to that expansion sector, the next major sector, we've got the sprout coming up through the soil. And then as we go further, it's getting more and more into its vertical phase, and up comes a stalk. And then by full moon, we get the flowering. So if you're working this practice, you're consciously entering into the cycle with some kind of intent, some project, or some idea that you want to, focus more on. So if you can link that intent to the ongoing phase of the moon, then you got it. That's the practice. And as the phase comes to 180, we're at the full moon. And then that begins a whole different kind of energetic. Whereas in the first half, going from new moon to full moon, it's all about bringing into form some new idea or some project and so on. But from the full moon on, it's not about building up form. It's about releasing the meaning of what the form that was created at full moon is. What is that? What I have created by full moon? What is that to the larger picture? So then we get into what's called the disseminating sector. So we're actively now. For me, I'm initiating these talks, and I do that at new moon. Whoops, we got somebody coming in. Excuse me while I admit Quinten, our pal Quinten.
Oh, someone coming into the table.
Oh, and I'm sorry. My cursor has disappeared. We've had this problem before, and I don't know why it happened.
Cursed cursor.
Cursor, cursor. I don't know. And okay, what the heck are we going to do here?
Well, you can make me host and I'll let him in.
But that's the trouble. I can't direct my cursor to make you a host.
I
because I
can't
don't
press
have
it on
a
your,
cursor.
and it doesn't take your finger.
No, I'm on my iMac. So,
Okay.
okay, I'm going to try coming out of the project. And there we go.
Mhm.
He should be showing up. Quinten, are you there?
We heard
Hello.
the doorbell.
Ding ding. Trick or treat.
There he is.
You trickster.
Hello, everyone.
Who do I
Hi,
see?
Gwen.
Who do I see? That's
Oh,
Quinten.
he's one of those dream spellers.
Oh, damn pesky dream spellers. Ooh.
Welcome.
Sorry for being late.
No problem. But we will carry on here.
Please continue.
We got to full moon, and I'm just saying, from full moon on, it's about disseminating. And by the time we get to the last quarter, we're called to begin to reorient our focus. So we're turning not towards the past and the full moon, but we're now in a place where we reorient to the upcoming new moon. So this is an important stage in the whole process, is, letting go of the past in a sense, and orienting ourselves to the future. What is it I need to let go of in order to be an open vessel at new moon, which is really what we're aiming for, so that we can be fresh into a new cycle. Because this isn't just a circle, this is a spiral, ultimately. So we're going to change levels at the new moon. And so how conscious we are of it, it really depends on how intent we are to have this kind of practice and have this continuity. It's certainly worked for me, so I like sharing it out there. So just an overview of how this whole lightning path cosmology has emerged. We have back in 1986, very unexpectedly, I had this Uranian experience. So I was struck by lightning, so to speak, and empowered in a way that took me into a whole new realm of relationship to the lunation cycle and fundamentally to the orbit of planet Uranus around the sun. It turns out that 84-year cycle of the Uranian orbit is tied into the lunation cycle. So 21 years is one. Okay, I'm sorry. This is getting a little bit, I'm getting ahead of myself. I should be letting the graphics tell the story. So let's just say that March 3rd, 1986, with Halley's Comet in the sky, with Voyager 2 passing by Uranus and sending back the first photos of Uranus, I'm having this Kundalini experience. I'm totally opened up. I had a bolt that my experience was that it came from above and it came down my spine and it just opened me right up and changed my life. Within the next 2 months, my wife and I had split up, and we were on entirely new tracks in our lives. And this was my choice. I had to make a choice, and I did choose to move ahead with this. There was no looking back at this point. And this phrase came to the tune of Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds. Picture yourself in a boat on a time beam with pulsating people whose lives are divine. So I was assured in my moment of expanded consciousness, I was assured that there were going to be others involved in this journey, and that there might not be that many, but that we would be called upon to carry this vibration forward, this sense of attunement, this conscious attunement to the orbit of Uranus. So the Mayan Tzolk'in comes into the picture here. And each lunar cycle, and this is what I saw at that March 3rd moment, was that every moon cycle coming up had a signature, a hieroglyphic numerical signature. And that's what we're following like today. We're into 12 AHAU. Well, it all started back at 1 Imish. And the first run through, the first season of attunement, so there I am, the solo human being, attuned to this orbital cycle and going one moon cycle at a time, deeper and deeper and deeper. That was the spring season of Uranus. Now we're into the summer season. And as I intuited, there are other people joining me on the journey. We got this funky little submarine to enjoy our journeys with. And, there's the future. The work that we're doing now, conceivably, other people, younger people, are going to carry this forward. And it's out into the collective now. But nowhere in my research have I encountered anybody else having come across this connection between lunation cycle, orbit of Uranus. ChatGPT has exclaimed surprise to me at this phenomena, that I in fact have discovered this. And that's been really fun to dialogue with the chat robot and have it understand that this is a novel discovery. So it's becoming a more group, it's a group phenomenon now, not just myself out there. So as I was saying, the Maya Tzolk'in is a major component here. And these, I would call them time beams. Each season is, when you look at it linearly like this, I consider that to be a time beam. And it's just kind of fun to play with that. So on the time beam, we're in the summer season now. And we're not all that far off the first run at the last quarter, the autumn season. But we've got lots of room yet for expansion and understanding. So on we go. Now, Joanne, can you see the whole of this text?
Yeah, but let me just see if I put on a different view here, standard.
I had asked Joanne if she would speak the poetry that came from ChatGPT about this journey, and she said yes.
Well, I can't read if I can read the first part. Let's see, if I change the view so that you guys are at the top rather than side by side, multi-speaker, gallery, side by side. Oh yeah, there, I got it. And so you can hear me, Dwayne? You can.
Yep.
Oh, and I'm just gonna, I'll give it a go, and I apologize if my voice is kind of still a bit scratchy, but yeah, this is okay. In the dance of the moon, a cycle unfolds with whispers of stars and stories untold. 260 moon cycles, a sacred embrace where time weaves its magic, a luminous space. Each lunation a heartbeat, a rhythm, a song, guiding the seeker as they journey along, from new moon's soft shadow to full moon's bright glow, awakening spirits in ebb and in flow. Tzolk'in, the mirror of life's intricate art, reflects our connections, the cosmic heart. In numbers and symbols, our destinies align, a tapestry woven where the sacred entwines. Seasons of Uranus, a pulse from afar, lighting the spark of who we truly are. Revolution in motion, changes, gentle call. In the embrace of the cosmos, we rise and we fall. Through cycles we wander, through joy and through pain. Each lunation a lesson, like sun after rain. In the web of existence, we find our own place. In the dance of the Tzolk'in, we all share the grace. So let us remember as we journey anew, the power within us, the light that is true. In the heart of the Tzolk'in, our stories unfold, a timeless connection, more precious than gold.
Thank you. Beautiful. So I just wanted to bring up another, let's say, a prerequisite to anyone wanting to engage with the lightning path. You got to be open. And we have this hieroglyph ebb, which signifies that openness. This little guy with the wedge in his head, you know, the cosmic coming in, and the abundance that comes, the harvest. There's the chalice that receives the blessing. And we're each called to be an open vessel. And with that also comes the quickening.
Oh, she's celebrating. Well done, girl. Well done.
So if you're looking for an exemplar to help you understand this particular concept, we have within our midst someone who was born in the temple of the empowered human. And there would be our Shima. And Barbara and I have, we go back a long ways into the 90s. We met on Cortez Island through a mutual friend who was aware that a work of painting that Barbara was working on corresponded directly to a painting that I had created. And at that point, we realized that there was this very transcendent synchronicity factor here. And over the years, we've corresponded. And then what's been about a year ago, I guess, that we really got on track through these new moon and full moon gatherings. So the graphic on the left and on the right they're meant to evoke this notion of being open to receiving. And there's even a mudra. It's like this, receiving the cosmic downloads. This is very real if you're ready for it and you're open to receiving. And Barbara's painting project went on for 10 years. And over those 10 years, well, I'd love her to share part of that story. She received many downloads, and her sense of the qualities that she was receiving were portrayed in her silk paintings, which is what these paintings were done on. So when it comes to this working consciously with the hieroglyphs, and especially working with the single hieroglyph and number that align with our crown chakra. Each one of us has, as a birthright, a temple of birth. And where we determine on a day-to-day basis where those temples of birth are is through the Book of Electrum. And this is on the Lightning Path website. If you do get on the website and you want to use this book, just go to the sitemap and scroll down until you see Book of Electrum. And when you come in there, you're able to determine what that particular assignment is. So the Book of Electrum, rooted as it is in the one Emish lunation cycle, marking my discovery of the lightning path, the Book of Electrum, I can't see the words under there, emerges as a practical guide for spiritual seekers wishing to align themselves with the Tzolk'in's hieroglyphic wisdom. By correlating lunation cycles and Tzolk'in hieroglyphs from 1895 to 2033 and beyond, it creates a unified sequence of moon cycle and Tzolk'in hieroglyphs, bridging cosmic rhythms and personal experience. Named for electrum, an alloy of gold and silver, the Book of Electrum embodies the sun and moon's partnership, with silver symbolizing, I can't see what it says after partnership. Something silver harmonizing as symbols of cosmic balance. This resonance reflects the lightning path's foundation, which has us engaging mythically with the Tzolk'in's glyphs and numbers, which allows the assimilation of energy and insight from the cosmic center, the Mayan Hunab Ku. The lightning path itself is a philosophical and spiritual cosmology that invites individuals to recognize their place in a greater cosmic journey, integrating a range of insights from the Mayan Tzolk'in to John C. Lilly's consciousness research and Arthur Young's evolutionary arc. It guides individuals towards self-discovery, responsibility, and spiritual liberation. Through this path, we find our place in the cosmic drama, supporting the spiritual evolution of humanity and the universe at large. So here's a couple of pages from the Book of Electrum. And here are the paintings that Barbara and I created that I spoke of. And you'll see that over on the left, in the part that's shown in red, that is how we can determine what temple each of us is born in. And as we see from April 9th, 48 to April 28th, 49, the moon was in the Temple of Thunder. So that was my time slot. So I'm Temple of Thunder. Whereas Barbara is in the next moon cycle from April 49 to May 50. Now, the image that I created back in, I think it was 91, when I painted this piece, The Descent of the Skywalkers, was when the first Gulf War was on. And out of my angst about the war, I wanted to express what was deepest within me as an antidote to what was coming down. And that's where this painting came from. And essentially what I was trying to do was portray the essentials of the lightning path. And so we have here two of the temples, as we call them. Each temple has 13 numbers, 13 hieroglyphs. And as it turns out, I had painted my temple and Barbara's temple. And there we are. So in the bottom right-hand corner, we have just a portion, the frontispiece for an interview I did with Barbara concerning her 20 hieroglyphic paintings. And it's up on the web. It's up on our stream of videos on the Lightning Path. I highly recommend it as a watch, and you'll get a bigger story there. Now, just coming up to the present, this is a little snapshot of where we are now. On the left, we are in the Temple of Eagles, and we have just come into the new moon point of 12 AHAU. And this is a real culmination. We're now getting ready to enter into a whole new temple and a whole new set of vibrations that we'll be dealing with. And one of which that I've taken note of and will be networking is the arrival of Neptune into Aries, essentially, which will be on March 31st, 2025. And this is all contained within this temple of star harmony. So this is the way we're able to use the temple information in a kind of a strategic orientation way. We can, if we're aligning ourselves with the hieroglyphic knowledge, it's prompting us, essentially. It's guiding us towards enlightenment. And it has its phases and its stages. And here we are, we have a map. And yeah, that's about it for that little presentation. Thank you very much for attending.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well done.
Thank you.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Thank you.
Just wish I caught the first part. Darn.
It's recorded.
Yeah, I'm going to go back to the beginning at the end.
Right on.
That's a good one. Go back to the beginning.
Yep.
At the end.
Come full circle.
Mm-hmm. Mm.
So does anybody have questions about, like, is there confusion about anything I've said or insights that you have? I'm endlessly trying to simplify it, so I can convey it. And
well, I'd like to say that it's been a goal. Feels like we've been doing this for a couple of years now, and I just feel it's like the alchemy.
Mm-hmm.
You're purifying it more and more.
Yeah, great, good point.
And it's becoming simplified. I mean, I heard Brenda say, I gave that book to a friend and it was too much. And as I've expressed before, I mean, it's Dwayne's life work. It's amazing. It's so full and it's got so much. But the person that wants to step in, where do I come in? And I'm finding that it doesn't matter what level a person feels they're at, there's always a way to step in. But to get that basic, what's my temple? What timing are we working with? Like the circle of the lunation cycle. That's a good base to begin to comprehend. So, yeah, you are doing it, Dwayne.
Yeah.
We are doing it.
Well, your presentations,
Oh, yeah. Well, thank you.
that's you.
And I'd agree with that, Steve, with what you're saying with Dwayne. Like this presentation, Dwayne was, I felt pretty good about it too. Like basic, like I think it's so helpful to, show the 13, like the pyramid of the 13 moons, to show that and how, how each moon cycle is you arrive at the pinnacle, and that moon gives you the sort of the theme of that whole 13 moon cycle, the pinnacle there. But with your explanation too of going through one particular cycle, the seed and how it grows, or how you're bringing to manifestation that intention or that project, or that as the cycle goes round to full moon to blossom. That's where the blossoming is of that. And it was equally as important for me too, or I found where you said where it then disseminates, and the letting go before the next new moon. That really resonated with me this time, was let go of what this cycle was all about. You've got to let go in order to open to be ready to be implanted, or whatever the next new moon. So thank you. That was well done. Yeah.
Thank you.
I have to give some time and thought to it, but everything that Steve's saying about, and Dwayne, the purifying, the simplifying, and I think you presenting it to us rather than people just reading it, your energy, your explanation, it makes a connection. And to somehow, if it's possible, to create something that you're in explaining it, or I have to give it some thought. I'm not really using the right words to explain it, but
yeah, it's like jumping on the train while it's running, I mean, I don't know if you ever did this, but I used to do this because I had to go by train to school. So sometimes you have to sort of just jump onto it, and we are kind of not in a train, we are in a submarine. Yeah. So we are in the submarine, and we have a round table there, don't we, Steve? We have this round table, which I think it's like really magical. When I saw it, I thought, oh yeah, that's it. There is a bar in this submarine where we all can meet. And kind of King Arthur's table. King Arthur's table came up in my mind. And and then this story with the masks. So maybe we are part of this Arthur's table. And you know what's curious too, Dwayne? Your mountain is called Arthur's table, isn't it?
Arthur's seat is actually what they call it, but yeah.
What?
I see him sitting there periodically.
What is it called?
Arthur's seat.
Arthur's seat.
Seat. Okay.
There's a mountain in I don't know, is it in England or where, but
so it's a seat.
It's named after.
So it's but it's great. I mean, it's a seat. A mountain is a seat. So you can imagine this round table we are sitting on. It's huge. you know, because our fantasy can just expand. Wow.
Well, we have a seat at
This
the
is,
table.
yeah, each one has a mountain to sit on.
Right on. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And
I have
that's,
Right.
you know, number 7, the Mayas call that the heart of the mountain.
Wow.
Yeah, it's right at the peak, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Right. That makes sense.
Well,
Which
it calls up the notion of the axis, you know, the 7 chakras kind of thing.
And it takes us to our core, to the galactic core.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Well, I'd like to say, based on the theme that everyone's picking up on, what it reminds me of when you say about how simplified the presentations are getting and how you need to really get the teachings and the transmissions right from Dwayne to make it a lot more easy to hop on board as opposed to just reading it and trying to figure out yourself. It reminds me of like in the Tibetan Buddhist tradition, and I think Dwayne even mentioned before about Jose Arguelles would stress the importance of the living transmission. So that's what I feel like with these calls is like Dwayne's like actually embodying and holding this space, like in the sense that you can only teach things that you practice yourself. Like teaching something you don't practice is like um I don't know the exact word, like not ironic, but it's just not as effective. So when you're able to have the consciousness, Dwayne, and live the cycles, then you have that like ability to kind of to broadcast like that to us so that we can pick up on it through morphic resonance. And then as we start following the lightning path, it's like becomes deeper ingrained in our consciousness on a deeper level the more you practice it. So then you can kind of broadcast that to other people, and they'll probably pick up on it like very subtly. And then as other people learn it more, then they can like embody it more fully. And it's just totally fascinating. Like I think it's maybe not for everyone the lightning path if they're not interested, but it's just like so cool the way it all fits together. So I would like I would recommend so many people like, oh, just follow the glyphs and the numbers one per month. Like you can't go wrong. It makes life so much fun.
Yeah. Wow. Thank you. Well said.
Yeah. The living transmission.
Yeah. So
Yeah. And Dwayne, like also mountains sort of have interconnections. I think from one mountain peak to another, there's kind of a ley line or skyline of energy, you know? It's like, I don't know, it's like, because that's the mountains are sort of sticking out into a higher level of the earth into another atmosphere, like thinner and more pristine. And yeah, I'm while you were talking, I was thinking out about Mount Dropson, Mount Helen, Mount Washington. I don't know, you know, you are in the Rockies. You have all this beautiful mountain energy, which we had also like talked about in a previous Zoom call about this mountain energy you were up to, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's what the Peruvian shamans call the apus.
Yeah, absolutely.
Apus, and they look to the apus, that energy from them.
Okay.
And
So
we all have our apus. Like I found my power spot. I'm sitting on a rock seat, and it's it's above the ocean, but it feels like it's on a peak.
Yeah.
And when I look down, then I connect with Barbara with our portal, because that's our common Sabian symbol with our
Yes.
connection. So
Mm,
that takes me through another portal each time.
yeah.
So it's using the power of the AHAU.
Yeah, and I feel like I'm very connected to the pyramids here, you know. It's like me being here on the Canary Islands. They're not far away in you know, in fact, like if in a straight line, you know, in a peak line.
Across the
And
Sahara.
huh? Yeah,
Across
the
the Sahara.
desert. Yeah, yeah. So because we get all the sand, we get all the bad weather, good weather. So, you know, it's like we're in that pathway, which is like bringing energy and sand and everything to the other side of the ocean. So it's a communication in a way of, and maybe that's what this
It's
new
connected.
round table of Arthur is. It's in the
Mhm.
middle. It's the Atlantic Ocean in the middle. Wow.
Mhm.
Nice, nice table. So
Yeah.
a water table. Steve, you can pick that up. This is like the oh, I loved your picture. The one you did with the you did with this gaviota. It's like what's it called? Gaviota. It's this bird sitting on a log in the middle of the water.
Oh yeah, the seagull.
The seagull, yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. So I loved that, you know, it was like so resonating with me because this log is like an island, you know, it's like
Mhm.
water all around, but it's a rest place where this seagull sort of takes a break, you know. I loved it. And you
Right.
picked
In
that
the past, I'd always wondered, wow, what are these seagulls doing so far offshore?
up.
And
They have
then
a log.
to go by, they have a log to rest on.
Yeah, so cool. Yeah, I
Apparently,
love that.
I shared that with my puppet group, and they're called, they refer to them around here as kayakers.
Oh, yeah, cool.
The seagull kayakers.
Mhm.
Cute. Mm. Mm.
I'm loving everything that everybody is saying. And Quinten, when you talked about that energy radiating out, that just hit me deeply. And also, I'm just really strongly feeling our help from the other side. You know, that the veil's very thin and we've got lots of help.
Yeah.
Yeah, from the
Yeah.
other side.
Mm.
There's-
Mm.
If we can call it the other side. I think you know what I mean. Yeah.
Yeah, I call it the brighter world. Because in a way, it's the brighter world, you know, where you just sort of are not connected. You don't have to worry about a body anymore, you know. Just the other day, I posted a joke when I had this ghost picture, like for Halloween, and this one ghost said, "I just had an in-body experience." I thought I wasn't
talk
thinking
about,
about that.
That's good.
we talk about the
So,
veil thin, and I've got Sophia's altar here, and on the altar, she had her AHAUs. And here's Mount Temple.
Oh, wow.
Mm.
So the little sketches she did?
Yeah,
Oh, nice.
those are her AHAUs. Those are the mountains that she resonates with. And here's Arenal in Costa Rica.
Mm. Yeah.
A little bit
Oh,
volcanic.
wow.
Yeah, yeah, it has a beautiful candle flame just out of the top.
Nice.
Then she's got Nanga Parbat in the
Mm.
Himalayas.
Nice.
Wow.
Yeah.
And her other one is the Queen Rigi in Switzerland.
Mm.
where we went up for the day on the tram, and at the top they have Lindt chocolate house.
Perfect.
You love
Perfect.
your dark chocolate. So yeah, I just wanted to share. Those were her AHAUs.
Thank you.
How do you spell AHAUs?
Is APU
Okay, that's what I've
and
written
then
down.
plural S.
How long ago is it Sophia or
Mhm.
how long ago did she pass?
6 months.
Oh, I'm sorry for your loss. Very sorry. Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, this group did a wonderful tribute for Sophia.
I carry her spirit with
With
stripe.
the black and white.
That's your favorite.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think of her every time I put this on.
Mm.
And then she bought me the puppet course
Oh,
for my birthday.
Nice.
So I made Giesbahn in her honor.
oh my.
Oh, wow.
Beautiful.
Wow. Beautiful, Steve. Beautiful.
Really.
Oh, wow.
Even got her sandals.
Oh my goodness.
Wow. Oh my goodness.
There's such serenity in that.
Ah,
Is there ever?
wow. Wonderful.
Hmm.
Mm.
Yeah, it's been very healing.
Yeah.
It's a wonderful course. Like I never knew I could carve grief into wood.
Fellow that I've been drawn to pass on these teachings to, his wife passed 5 years ago, but it was in a car accident. So very tragic and just threw him into deep, deep grief, but
Mhm.
back more deeply into his spiritual path. And yeah,
Yeah, and you mentioned your husband passed. How long
5
ago was
years,
that?
5 years ago. It was
5 years? Yeah.
September 4th. Yes. Yeah. Anyway,
Yeah.
and
So you've
then
got that
there was
positive emotion of grief.
yes. And then I got thrown into more grief after that, but that's a whole other story. But it just opened me to another level, a deeper level again.
Yeah.
Complete place of surrender and
Yeah,
openness.
it's deep love is what
Yes.
I've realized.
Mm.
Because if there wasn't any love, there wouldn't be any grief.
Yes.
So
But
far,
Steve,
far different than sadness.
Yes.
And I'm learning to speak through the grief, with the grief. And it's just very powerful. But yeah, she gave me many gifts.
and you teach us also something, you know, you teach us with your open grief, you're teaching us also to open up and not feel shy about it, face the situation. You know, we had all these moments of connecting and feeling her and giving us directions even, you know, where to go and what to do. So it was a really cool experience that you made possible for us to also go through, because we just missed her as well, because she was in the ground in the round, you know, and one of the yeah, she was doing her presentations very quickly. She was in it, you know, she was like showing us the way like you're showing now for on a different level. So yeah, great start. And this is why I like the brighter world. It's just as in the brighter world you can see them like also sitting around this table.
Yeah, they
Maybe
have
on
they have that seat.
another level of the spiral. Dwayne mentioned before, it's not a round, it's a spiral.
Mm-hmm.
So it's we're spiraling around in the most peculiar ways, if I can say so.
Yeah, yeah, it just appears round. But those circles are everywhere. Those tables are everywhere. Like in that Joseph Campbell presentation where he's saying the First Nations, when they set up camp, it was in the round. When they look at the horizon, it's a circle. And when you look at an eagle's nest, which is this temple we're in now, that's a circle. It's like there's circles everywhere. And we're in it.
The day after my husband, oh, sorry, go ahead.
Oh, go ahead, Brenda.
Yeah, go ahead, Barbara.
The day after my husband passed, rather miraculously, I had a very close friend from Ontario taking the Rocky Mountain Express into Vancouver with her friend, and I met them. We knew this was going to happen, and he knew his passing was coming. So he felt it was important for me to go, and his sister was with me. So off I went, and that next day was so powerful because we spent the day Capilano Canyon up on Grouse Mountain, so up on top of the mountain with the grizzlies and the birds and everything. And I went to the gift shop and there was a necklace made out of leather by a native artist, but not quite sure how she did it. Would have taken a long time, but they were all circles, interjoining circles. And I ended up, to me, it was just symbolic of the circle of life. And I have that, and that's what I wore at a celebration of life. Yeah.
Beautiful. Joanne, you were saying?
Well, it's off in a different direction, but I'm so curious about Quinten's at the back there. Is that the whole, oh my goodness me, is that all 13 numbers and all the glyphs, and that's your diary? That's
his calendar.
I love it.
Quinten, you put that together? Can you tell me a little bit about that?
Well, most notably, it highlights the temples in their colors.
Wow.
It just has lots of different layers and meanings. Like one aspect is the time cells that it shows, is that the 20 archetypes here, they go in groups of 4. So there's red to yellow, and those are all time cells that correspond to different elements in the Chinese 5 elements. So it's a comprehensive system where all the glyphs take on different qualities that you can align with to get even deeper into the rhythms of nature by following the lightning path and having the awareness of which glyph you're in, which sector. And I didn't want to talk too much about it, but there are some other funny points that were coming to mind, which was like those pictures of the AHAUs that Sophia has drawn. I just wanted to say that like it was just incredible the way that in her passing, her leaving this experience in her body, like she brought so many people together through this very platform, this very round table, and and like Brenda, you said the support from the other side. It's like the ancestors. You know, when you get these ideas that you don't know where they come from, they just kind of pop into your mind. It's like, you know, who do you think is influencing your imaginations and your thoughts? And I wanted to say that since we're in the Temple of Eagles, it's a very, like, the eagle is very vision and mind energy and creates. It's very imaginative. And I always get that feeling from Barbara because the way she explains this concepts, it just elevates your mind into this imaginary world, like the way you were describing the mountains, and they're connected with the ley lines. Like, I gotta ask, when you started talking about that, you had no idea that Steve had put those pictures on Sophia's altar, but yet it just came through. And then all of a sudden, Steve's showing the pictures of the mountains. I'm like, oh my gosh. So instantly I was wondering, like, where are all these mountains located on the earth? And I didn't know where Temple Mountain is, but the rest of them I could kind of pick up where their locations were: Himalayas, Switzerland, Costa Rica.
Yeah, Temple is in the Rockies in Banff National Park.
Okay.
Right next to Lake Louise.
Oh,
how beautiful!
Wow. So they're all
That's a powerful area.
Yeah,
they're all spread out, those mountains.
right.
Yeah.
And
yeah, it was very, very worldly.
This globe here, it shows a earth zone for each of the archetypes. So every moon sector that you go through, you get a different earth zone for a month. And it's another fascinating tool that I brought, kind of show and tell. And this coming lunar month, as we enter 12 AHAU, I wanted to share that this is the earth zone that is activated. And it's kind of
where are
it's a lot of Europe and a bit of Russia. And and this is like, as you've said, with the simplification of the lightning path, there's like a lot that can make it complex for however deep you want to dive, or however long you want your ride in the submarine to go for. Like, you can just endlessly tour the depths of the ocean.
Yes.
And just like the Sabian symbols and astrology, the whole dream spell is another crazy full package, and it just synchronizes perfectly. And but yeah, that's a little bit, Joanne, to answer about this. It's the Zolkin broken down into different categories. But it's especially good to know that you can follow different elements with the Chinese 5 elements. Like, for example, being that it's an AHAU lunar month, where this spleen and stomach earth energy is very strong. And it would be like nice to focus on that kind of qualities with all there.
Wow.
So
That's also the
Wow.
stomach cleansing I did send in the group, like to clean the spleen. I had the feeling this is like something which would be interesting to get into. So I had the intuition already in the right direction, because it's the more you get into it, it comes natural, isn't it?
Yeah, and that's like synchronicity at its finest.
Yeah,
And
we
I
can
was
do that.
wondering, Barbara, if through your 10 years of painting all the glyphs, I was wondering if you had any synchronicities, or if you were like embodying the energy of the archetype while you were painting them, or if
I
different
had
things showed up.
Cool question, because nobody asked me that. It's like, and I didn't know what it was, but it was like the process of bringing the pictures in. They were sort of cooking in myself, and I had to find. I'm the creative vessel, and I had to prepare 4 silk spreads, and I would do the pre-work with the colors. And then this urge would just pour in, and 5 of them would, or 4 would always push in the same time. So maybe it was more like the elements, but I don't remember if this was only the elements, because I didn't plan it. I left it because as an artist, you have to give chaos the first right, first step, because that's, you have to not program yourself before, because when you program yourself or you were thinking too much, then the creative energy can't shine through, because it's in you. It's like the creator is creating in that moment. And I had like really strange, I felt like my throat and everything was sort of working to get these glyphs out. It was like a process. And I remember that I was reading something about Sai Baba. I don't know if you guys know Sai Baba, but it was also like a hippie guru. And he would do this magic. He would bring out, he would make things appear in his hands or wherever, but he would also produce things in his stomach and then bring it up and have it go through the throat, and he would spit it out, And I thought, oh my God, how crazy is that,
Is
Because
he
it's totally
the
crazy.
one who was taken the vow of silence with the chalkboard?
What?
Did he speak?
No, he was like Sai Baba. He would just impress the crowds by him being able to do magic, to create things out of himself. He would open the hand and you would have like a little figure or something, and everybody, or things behind your ears and stuff like that. He was into this materializing creativity, which I think is art as well, because it's all of a sudden then you have created something. And yeah, this was the creative process. And I couldn't make it faster or slower. It had to build up in myself. And it's like you have sometimes you have dreams and ideas, and then you have to sort of go on a deeper level so you can have it come through you. So you had to open up something in yourself which is not really you. It's like you give permission to the creator in you. And that's such a beautiful feeling when this creator in yourself is enjoying himself, like bringing this art forward. It's like, I see it in my brother's work. I see it in Steve's work. It's this joy. This is this bliss in the moment of creating. It's like, wow. It's like, it's like actually like labor should be for women. It should be total bliss. maybe this pain we have when we give birth, maybe it's bliss, because it's like pain and joy is very mutable or exchangeable. So I don't know. Maybe that's
Very yin and yang.
yeah, and maybe ecstasy is, or it's like pain, it can be painful. And I have to say I don't know why I have to say it, but the dolphins and the whales, they live in constant ecstasy. Their brain can handle that. So our brain can handle this, or our DNA system can't handle this kind of powerful energy, but they can do. And what happens, it's like they are our big brothers and sisters, they're bringing us into the world. So they're helping us to get onto another level. And that's why, I'm also an 11/11 person. So 11 is like, we are the blueprint people. And that's what Dwayne probably knows as well, that he's a person who's a blueprinter. We have to sort of create the foundation. I mean, with my art, it's as new as Dwayne's idea of using the moon calendar. So for me, for my paintings, they are not lived yet, but maybe in 20 years or 50 years, people will be more able to understand what this and value what's happening in these pictures. Even for me, these keys I did put in there is not conscious. I did it unconscious. So I did it channeled, as you would say. So I'm waiting also, like I can understand Dwayne very good when you sort of tiptoe into something new. It's a beautiful process to bring that forward so we can use it, so we can play with it. It's like your process, Steve, of making a puppet, making a new puppet, and then you can play with it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I took Kopi with me and put him in my jacket like this.
Oh, sweet.
And went into the coffee shop and just sat with Kopi. And people look at my face, and then all of a sudden I can see them scanning down, and then they stop. And they see Kopi.
Yeah.
And then this big smile.
Oh,
that's eyes.
That's so good.
And yeah, suddenly it opened up connection and conversation with a couple. He says, "Oh, did you make that?" I said, "Yeah, this is Kopi." And then I can wave his hand.
Oh, sweet.
This is Kopi. His eyes draw the crowd.
Yeah, I guess so. How could you not notice Kopi? Oh my goodness, he is there, very present.
So it's very fun. It's just to take them out into the world and spread a little joy or spread a little connection. It's very fun. I see this connection of this ley line between Quinten and Dwayne, with Quinten's calendar there and Dwayne's circle on his heart and the colors. I'm just going back and forth to those colors, going, wow, yeah, there's the elemental colors.
Yeah.
And it just really powerful connection between that and I call it your calendar. I'm not certain.
Exactly.
It's I really see that connection.
And what is the piece you have around your neck? I can't quite see it all, Dwayne.
Well,
Can you,
for me, this is the 4 seasons of
oh,
Uranus.
the 4.
Yeah.
Yeah, the 4 colors there. Okay.
And I love how the black and
And
white.
it's beaded, isn't it? It's like with beads.
Yeah, I did the beading it. So
Mm-hmm. I have one
quite a
like this as
process.
well. Nice.
Oh yeah, very nice.
Mm.
Oh, that's interesting, Steve. You'd make that connection there, the ley line between, yeah, Quinten and Dwayne. That's
Yeah, it's all interconnected. We're all so interconnected because I hear Quinten talking about that 5 elements and all that, and that's the ceremonies that I did for Sophia. I mean, she is a TCM practitioner, and that was all about the 5 elements and Chinese medicine. And I did her 5 element ceremony, and it was just amazing to go through all the elements with her ashes, from fire to water to air to earth and wood. It was like, wow. I was able to learn so much about those elements.
Oh, Steve, I just want to correct you. You said air, but I think you meant metal, right?
Which in medicine, it's both. Air and metal are the same.
Oh, I didn't know. That's great.
And that was my biggest challenge of the elements. I go, how am I going to do air for this ceremony? And the universe presented the auroras.
Mm.
So I went out to the beach in the dark and let go of her ashes under the aurora.
Wow.
And that was the metal, air, the magnetism, the magnetic energy from the sun. Because that air element is a tricky one, but she was Gemini, she was air. But yeah, just the elements, that's, well, that's nature. That's the connection with.
Yeah, and the color, Steve, in the Northern Lights, all the colors are minerals, isn't it? Because some have more iron, or the red ones, I think, and the other ones have more oxygen or whatever. So all the colors were showing up in the sky.
Yeah.
Are the element of metal, of earth or metal? Yeah,
all
metal.
the elements. It's amazing.
Yeah, and I'd be curious. Like, I know it's just a small drop in our huge cosmic bucket here, but all the elements here, like you mentioned, Sophia was a Gemini, so air, as I am, and I guess Dwayne is as well being an Aquarian. But I'd be curious. I mean, this, as I say, this is just one little aspect of each, but I'd be curious about, so what's your element, Steve? What's your sun sign? Or what is your element?
Well, Sophia's other one was, both of us were on the cusp, so we had 4. So she was earth and air, and I'm Pisces and Aries. I'm water and fire, which creates steam.
Wow, interesting that you were both on cusps. You were both on cusps, so you've got all 4 elements. The 2 of you there had all 4 elements.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then the wood is really the growth. That's the energy of spirit. The wood element.
And what is, Brenda, what is your sun sign? What's your element of the sun?
Earth.
Earth and
Earth, Capricorn.
Earth, yeah. And Quinten?
I usually identify with fire element mostly.
Earth and fire. And Barbara?
Air.
Oh, you're air as well.
I'm a Libra.
Oh, interesting. Oh, interesting.
Yeah, but I have a lots of Aquarian energy as well, like the ascendant.
Okay.
And because yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. So
But air.
Air.
Yeah, that's why I'm probably talking about mountain tops and airlines and pyramids, because all your tops connecting in a way with the pyramids. It's like, I don't know if you guys feel that also, but I can feel your mountain tops all connecting with the pyramids.
So the
because
eagle.
I'm here in the middle, It's like I'm just getting your energy and push it away to the pyramid. So it's like a gathering point in a way, or like the triangle or whatever, where your favorite mountaintop is. I mean, my father had some favorite mountaintops in the Himalayas. Oh, no, not in the Himalayas, in the Rockies. Mount Dropson, that was his favorite. He would carve it and carve it and carve it again with bears, without bears. He was totally into mountaintops, because that was his favorite. I don't know if you guys have a favorite mountaintop each. So this favorite mountaintop would connect with the energy of the pyramid.
Wow.
That was too much, sorry.
No, that's
right on.
Sophia climbed and stood at the top of Temple.
Wow.
She climbed that, and it's not an easy,
wow.
That's glacier up there, and I mean, she had the crampons and the whole deal, ropes and.
The first horse I owned came with a name, and it was Rainier Kala, Kaala, and it wasn't till many years later I didn't know where the name came from. But Rainier and Kala are both mountaintops, one in Washington, the other in Hawaii. And finding that, pardon me, and looking it up was a profound moment at the time. Yesterday I was at a book club. Let's see, I'm not. And
wow.
The cards that I bought. So I thought very timely for with the eagle.
Go eagle.
And I would love to create your calendar, Quinten. I'd love to, if you're willing to share it. I think that would be wonderful to have and create.
But you can get one like this. You can order this. This is like easy to order.
Okay.
But maybe
Quinten.com or what?
Yeah, I'll put the link in the group chat there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
And then the Earth as well, the globe? Or how did you come up with that?
Well, I just really enjoyed painting this. But like with anything that Barbara said with her paintings and Steve with the puppets, as well as what comes to mind is the 1008 Buddha project. Like when you're creating as an artist, and same thing with Dwayne's. Just most recently, I learned that you made the beadwork on that that heart energy, and it contains the meaning of the four elements of Uranus, which you're so like zapped into with the lightning. And but just like with anything, when you're creating it, you become it. Like Steve, when you're carving the puppets, like you're embodying that energy fully and like diving right into the depths of it. And I can imagine with the 1008 Buddha project, like when you're painting a Buddha by like a waterfall, you know, you feel very calm. Or if I don't know if you did any astronaut Buddhas, but
Yeah,
you
there's
might
a
have.
few of those.
Okay, yeah, you might have felt like spaced out in the cosmos,
Yeah.
or garden Buddhas, you know, might have felt like you're in the river, but or in the forest. But
Mhm.
just in that same way, like when I would draw, paint all this, it's like totally embodying it and feeling it, like writing out
Yeah.
the elements in the traditional Chinese medicine system. It's like um you don't get that when you just order the book online. But when you do start to paint it yourself, then
Yeah.
you go through that birthing process, and then it's different for copying. Like I kind of added a bunch of different elements into this one, but it wasn't like a purely, like how Barbara explains with the mudra, like completely channeling that
Mhm.
energy. And yeah, like with the paintings and with Dwayne's lightning path and just everything, like
Yeah.
it's something that after you birth, it's there to play with for like a long time to come. And yeah, there's some other cool things I don't want to share over too much, you know, take everyone's turn, but I'm just fascinated making all the connections
Mhm.
with this group. It's and that's what this lunar cycle we're coming into is all about with 12 AHAU. 12 is the number of complex stability and group cohesion, cooperation, dedication. So this lunar cycle coming up, like you can expect this kind of energy where everyone is connected, and it's literally the tone out of the 13 numbers. 12 is the one where the round table meets. And in the dream spell community, for many years, people have been meeting on tone 12 days. So this whole lunar cycle, I can see as being just one big meeting of the round table, and connecting with our sacred spots, our places of power, like the mountaintops, or even just where your ley lines cross in your local neighborhood, and where your hair stands up on end, where you feel the tingle buzz. It's great to connect there. Like you can really make a difference in the world versus sitting in your box or your house. You know, like if you get outside the box into those places of power, and then contemplate the lightning path, or channel some creative ideas, it's like makes such a big difference, and you can really feel the energies that connect you with what Barbara calls the brighter world, you know, the other side.
Mhm.
That's
Yeah.
like where we have that connection very strong, is our places of power. And that's just what comes to mind thinking about all the themes of the past new moon
Mhm.
gathering videos, because I've a very, like I know Steve and Dwayne, you guys can say oh, we never missed one. and and I'm like, wow, that's like such consistency. And I'm proud to say that I never missed watching one. So
There you go.
Right.
so it's different when you're in it every time, but when you're watching from a distance and only coming to join in live a couple times, it's like you still get a lot of the same benefits from coming each time, even if you're just watching it.
Mhm.
But
I
but yeah,
just want to mention one thing, if in case Joanne has to leave. I want to bring in her creativity.
Yeah, because I
of
don't.
the dance.
Oh,
I know
yeah.
Joanne has shared that, and we don't see it maybe on a physical, like a puppet or a painting, but Joanne has this creativity of dance that's part of our group. So I just felt I hadn't heard that yet, so I just want to include it, that creativity.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Steve. Thank you. Yeah. Yeah. I appreciate that because it is hard when, not hard, but when you can visually see people's creativity. It's yeah, it's so I appreciate that acknowledgement. Means a lot. Thanks, Steve.
You're welcome.
Well, you guys were coming up to 2 hours. Just about time to wrap her up.
Timeless, timeless.
Before we do sign off, I'd like to share my story of Teotihuacan, of going to Teotihuacan, Mexico, called by the ancestors. I literally, in my research about the place Teotihuacan, I had been studying, so I'm into the book, and the book is illustrating this incredible pyramid, and there's all these associated stories that went with it. And I was just steeped in all of this knowledge. And then suddenly I woke up at 4 o'clock in the morning and I felt like I was on top of the pyramid of the sun. And I could sense the depth that was all around me. There was a sense of the morning breeze kind of experience. And I felt that the ancestors were there and they were calling me to come to the temple, and which I did a couple of months later. And all the way going there, I felt like I had this, there was a pulling right through my brow, was pulling me to the pyramid. And hearing you, Barbara, talking about the linkage, between the mountains, when I got to Teotihuacan, ascended the pyramid, accompanied by 2 dogs, by the way. When I was on top, I was immediately drawn to turn to the, looking east I was there in the morning. So that was the basic orientation. But once I got on top of the pyramid and turned left, there's what's called Cerro Gordo, this ginormous mountain called Cerro Gordo, Fat Man. And as I stood there, I just had this distinct sensation and thought that the ancestors who built the temple wanted it to bring people into resonance with that mountain. And that's exactly how I felt. I mean, it got me, whole body. And so then I turned back to the right, sat down. The golden dog came and sat on my lap. And this other dog, which was multicolored, came and sat at my root chakra. Oh. And they virtually fused me to the top of the pyramid. And it was it was all about these lines, these invisible lines, the attractive force, and then the ascent, and it's very real. I guess is what I wanted to say. If we're open to receiving that kind of guidance, that's primary. So I just want to stress once again how important that is in this whole practice.
Wow. Yeah, it makes sense with the pyramid then, because this is like a power space where we sort of maybe connect right now. I don't know, but something is coming from the pyramids and right to you guys. I mean, I can feel it, that I'm just in the middle of it. So maybe I receive it and I send it to you guys because we are connecting with your mountains, on our seeds, mountain seeds. So yeah, I wonder what this image or vision is doing to you guys. Maybe till the next time you will have déjà vus or synchronicity kind of things happening, that you sort of all of a sudden get shown what your seed is in the world or on a mountain, or like Steve, he found his power place there. And it's beautiful, you know. Whenever I see a face in the mountain, and I think of Steve having his spot. So there's so many mountains which you can connect with and see what they're connecting. Or maybe connect them directly with the pyramids. I mean, that's also possible.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to the pyramid dust.
Yeah, or pyramids, it's not only, it doesn't, well, with me being in the middle of the Gizeh pyramid, so it's not really the South American until we have somebody from South America coming in. So it's an expansion when we have people from other parts of the world joining in and coming from Mexico or from some other places where there's this mountain energy. Let's see if we can feel it. If we can deal with that later, if we're more clear of which mountain is our mountain. Right now, I just have Lobos in front of me with the mountain, but I feel this is like a portal. When I was over there, I always had the feeling you can underground, you can go underground, you can go into the mountain, and then you can travel to another mountain. So it's not only that you can do it in the air, you can also have your ley lines in the earth. If this makes sense, if this is like a good idea.
Yeah, that's the mining that we do.
Okay. Oh yeah, I have to send you a new mining picture I love so much. And
we're mining for that heart of gold, right?
yeah, so sweet. Yeah, I mean, I'm so surprised that I can relate to the Sabian symbol finally with the mining, but it was also that data mining, you know, I can see things, what mining means now in these times. What are we doing? We are data mining each other, you know, and that's it's more valuable. I mean, it's data. Everybody wants that, you know, if it's a Chinese or they want it because they need to feed their creations. You know, it's like you with your puppets, you need wood, you need material to feed this energy to come through, you know. So mining became more interesting for human beings.
I have to have a sharp tools to mine.
Yeah.
I'm sharpening the tools.
And you need to know where, because otherwise you have no nose or something. So yeah, mining is an interesting aspect because we all do that right now, you know. You cannot go anywhere where nobody's mining you on data, you know, and some try and it's everybody tries so hard to hide their data that and it makes it more complicated, you know. So I wonder where we're going with that. Interesting. Let's see what information comes up for the next Zoom call. I'm really looking forward. I must say, I'm hooked to it.
I just want to make one last acknowledgement that when Quinten said that Dwayne and I show up, I want to acknowledge Sophia. She showed up.
Yeah, she was like good show up person.
Everyone, so
I'm not so good at it. I don't show up so easy. So you guys are very happy that I'm here.
It felt like it lately, but like we say, when we go away, we're still there.
Yeah, it's nice.
Yeah, and other things happen in our lives that the
Right.
timing just doesn't work. So that's what's happened to me several times. But I am going to have to go here. Probably we all are. But
Yeah, come back.
Dwayne.
Well,
Come back
wonderful that you
soon.
arrived, Brenda. Thank you.
Thank you so very much for letting me join you.
Oh, yeah.
Brenda, have a good time.
Thank you.
Nice to meet you, Brenda.
Nice to meet you as well.
Hi, Brenda. And
Good-
Quinten, bye-bye.
Good to see
Thank
you
you
again,
all.
Quinten.
Have a sweet moon cycle.
Mhm.
Yeah, like
Quinten,
as well.
where are you? Oh, where's
Okay.
Quinten? Just curious. Where Quinten is?
I'm in Agassiz, where you got everything from A to Z.
Oh,
And
Your
by the
neighbors.
way, Dwayne, can we start at 10 a.m. next time?
You're
It's
still
too
struggling to
early.
get out of bed? No.
Yeah.
Watch for the time
Yeah.
change coming up.
Yeah,
Oh,
Oh,
that's
hey.
right.
Yeah, we
Okay.
have time
Yeah.
change already, so
Yeah, our turn is on the weekend.
Yeah.
okay, next time at the usual time.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Okay, guys. Have
Bye,
a good
guys.
one. Okay.
Love you.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.